Well, due to the recent wing nut that the news cycle that just happened, we're not going to stay on long. I'm just getting this airplane ready for appearance judging. Was out flying today. Way too gusty, and made a couple trim changes. I took out some wingtip weight, and I'm going to doctor up some of the things that need to be fixed, such as this magenta stripe here needs to be fixed right there. So whether I get to that tonight or not, I just rubbed out the muffler. Why is my name up there? Oh man. Let me see here. Comments. Yo. Let's see. It was brand. Brand banners. Let's try that. No, that ain't it. Brand. Man, I thought I had that. Thought I had that out of there. Background music. That's classic. I don't want. Oh, show. There we are. Yeah, I don't know what the heck's going on with this stupid stuff. Ever since I tried to do Zoom last night, all the settings are screwed up on my computer. So we got that going on. Anyway. Did everybody see what happened to Trump? Some wingnut tried to take him out. So I was debating whether it even to go on. Just happened. This paint has been drying now for several months, and it shines rather nicely now. So do that in there. If I don't do it now, you'll never get it done at the net. You can't rub an airplane out at the nets. No way. And I've said before, it's about 100 hours to rub one out. For me, anyway. If you do spray shine, it's not so bad. But I don't use that stuff. Tuesday at 4 o'clock. That's when I'm going to paint the clear on the orange one. And you ask, how do I know that? Well, I found an app for humidity. And it shows it like right now, humidity is way up there. Really, really up there. And it would blush. I don't care how much retarder I put in, and I'm sure that it would blush right now. I think there's a difference between temperature and humidity can only be so many percent before it won't blush. Well, you guys have become so used to me coming on at 7 o'clock that I decided I'd come on anyway. And I think that the Hangouts are going to be moved to 7 o'clock my time, too. Because it's just too damn late. 8 o'clock and be finished at midnight. That's ridiculous. I'm gonna have to get some more rubbing compound. This airplane's starting to come around. A little slow today, but it handled the window all right. And I'm not using a rev up. I'm using a carbon fiber rev up. Seems to be working all right on this airplane. So I'll just stay on a half an hour tonight, and we'll catch the news. I'd like to hear exactly what's going on. Yeah, this thing's polishing up nice. It'll be beautiful. Needs a little blue right there, a little spot of blue. Okay. Crazy, they should have the loser of the election, the vice president. They used to do that. Good evening, Roy. But could, oh man, no, we don't need that. We don't need that. But that's how it used to be. I think that's how Nixon became Eisenhower's VP. Oh no, that ain't right. What president would it have been? You ask a kid today who was Eisenhower's vice president, I bet guarantee you nobody would know it was Nixon. Because Nixon ran against Kennedy and lost. All because of Joe. And Bobby didn't get the memo. That's why he ain't around. I wonder what this thing weighs since I retrimmed it. Let's check that out. Because I moved some stuff around. Let's see, where's the scale? Scale's right here. Where's my foam? Huh. Come on. Yeah, I was thinking about trying to fly the Aegis, but I think we'll do better with the Viper. Might take my Junar as a backup. What the heck happened to that foam block? Oh, there it is. That's on the floor. Duh. Feels light. There's something on that foam pad, I think. Yeah. Okay. Start this bad boy up. We're on grammages. Let's change to pounds or ounces. $54.9 ounces. So it went up a little bit. This is a big airplane, 740 squares, according to Howard anyway. Maybe now that I've taken the hangout over, Howard won't come in. Hope he does. If anybody would like to step up and take over hosting, send me a private message. Otherwise, I'll have to appoint somebody. A lot of dust up this thing. Well, we got 15 more minutes of this, and I don't want to bore you guys to death. Plus, I'd like to listen to the news.
Bob,
Yeah,
somebody shot Trump.
I know. I saw it. Thanks. Just informed of what I already watched. You know, I think I'm going to send. I got a guy at St. Louis Plating. I think I'm going to have this spinner chrome plated. So that way I don't have to keep polishing it. Maybe I'll do that after the Nats. I don't think I can get it back that quick. Shit, he won't even have to polish it. It's already polished. All I got to do is dump it in the nickel and the copper and then the chrome. Okay, I tweaked that flap. Let's see if this is. That's a little out. I might have to steam this flap. I can't get them straight. I'll cut them off and make new ones. That is the nice thing about dope. Yeah. Yeah, it's a 1911. They really despise this guy because they want to be in control. If you remember, Bush Sr. talking about the New World Order when we're successful, and we will be. I don't think so. Not anymore. I think you guys are done. I don't think people are going for that shit. It all starts at the Bohemian Grove. Bring the shine up. I bet his wife is freaking out. You gotta give up. I think tomorrow night we'll start on a new profile kit. The one that Jimmy Barnholes gave me to do. Got another guy gave me a twister. We'll be doing the twister, Navion, and then the twister. I need to get that flight streak flown. Good evening. I need to get that flight streak flown so I can give it away at the Nats. I just wish the paint job would have come out better. Okay, so now we want to do the fillet areas here. I can bet you this, security at the next rally will be super tight. We'll be lucky to get in it. That brought that up. So I'll work on this probably an hour a day until the national. To get it polished out, maybe a couple hours a day. Yep. Well, you're right, Roy. You want to know what it's all about? Go watch George Carlin. That guy was smart. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. You go back and watch Carlin in the 50s. He was just as funny then as he was in the 90s and 2000s. That guy was funny. And a wordsmith. He had a great vocabulary. But the kids nowadays don't know what they missed. Of course, you know, if you think about it, my dad was World War II, greatest generation, and I'm a boomer. He used to say that we didn't know what he missed, so. But I can tell you right now, today's stuff is ridiculous. Bunch of retards. Okay. Do I want to keep doing this or not? Yeah, they're not cheap. Well, they really are cheap, you know, if you consider the amount of time and effort I put into them, the money. I take a loss every time I sell one. If I sold this for $1,500, I'd lose $500. That's just the way it is. Now we're coming up on our half hour. Oh yeah, they got him. Secret Service jumped on him just immediately. You got to be a real wingnut if you think you're going to get away with something like that. Hey, get you a T-shirt. Go to oh yeah, Carlin was great. You know, he played in the White House, and he had to do his routine without cussing. He played at the correspondence, you know, did his spiel at the correspondence dinner, and yes, he did all right. Oh, today I had to fix the landing gear. I had a loose landing gear on the inboard side. It was loose. Now it's tight. Let me tell you, I should have shown you how to fix them. What happens is that the wood, you know, the wire sticking in there, you drill an 1/8-inch hole. Well, normally you kind of move the drill bit back and forth and it ogles out a little bit, so the landing gear gets loose. And after, you know, so many landings, they get loose. So in order to fix that, you get yourself some copper or brass tubing that slips over, I think it's 7/32 OD, 1/8 ID, and you cut a short piece, 1/2 inch long, and you cut a U into it, and you drill a 7/32 hole into the block, and you epoxy that tube into the basswood or the maple. I think I'm going to start doing that from the beginning. That way, I've had to repair them several times. This is the Bob Hunt landing gear setup. Like this one here is loose. If you guys would like to see how it's done, I could do it on this gear here. See how this is loose? I mean, it's just a little loose, but after so many landings, it will become very loose. But if you epoxy in, I use copper this time, that piece of copper, where the hell's that tube? That piece of copper, it'll lock it up. Now, I have in emergencies, like when I was at SIG with my Thunderbolt, I got that slop from going in on the grass. You know, they had rutted grass there, and I got the gear real sloppy. I just took 5-minute epoxy, pulled the gear out, smoothed it all over, put it back in, glued the door on. But then the gear is non-removable. You're kind of stuck with it. Not that you ever remove them anyway, unless you're transporting. You might take the gear off and the prop off to get it in the car. But very, very rarely do I ever take my landing gear off unless there's a problem. So would you guys like to see that process? I'll do that tomorrow night or tomorrow. And then we'll start building that Navion. It's not very hard to do. It's just a little fiddly to grind that notch in the tube so that it fits all the way up in there. And then I took this brass drift and tapped it down into the wood. But if you're going to fly these things after you build them, you best learn how to maintain them and repair them. It's just like anything else, the car or a real airplane or a motorcycle or whatever. Shit happens. You're going to get a ding. You're going to get something come loose, you know, motor mount break. Who knows what can happen. So I'm continually working on them while I'm flying them. Like I say, the orange Viper will be cleared Tuesday at 4 o'clock because there's a humidity map on Google, and it looks like we're going to have 36% humidity at 4 o'clock. We'll see how good they are. 36% humidity at 4 o'clock on Tuesday. And I'm going to take that airplane to the Nats as a backup, so I don't have room for any mistakes. Let's put this one off in the distance here. I've kind of held off on building my other Viper. You bet. I've kind of held off on building my other Viper. It's all it needs is a turtle deck and a bottom block, and it's ready to go. I think I got the cowl somewhere for it. Let me see if I got the cowl on. Yeah, I got the cowl shaped and on it already. And it's in bones. It's the wings done. Fuselage, elevator, stabilizers on and done. And just like this airplane here. But we'll wait till after the Nats to see what kind of ideas I get. Maybe I'll wait, even after the Worlds. Because I might want to try something different, We'll see how they fly. But I watch them fly to see what characteristics they have. All right, I'm going to cut this video short because I want to watch TV about the news on President Trump. And so pray for him. Even if you don't like him, pray for him because you don't want anybody to be hurt by a wing nut. And there's some wing nuts out there. There's a guy standing on the corner with a hammer today at that. Oh crap, I'm gonna have to fight a guy with a claw hammer. Pretty soon it's gonna be like the old West around here. Alrighty, I'm sorry for the short stream, but due to circumstances, Let's see. Let's see what that says. Ran out of superfill. Tried lightweight spackling. Big mistake. Phil, is it on the fillets? Let me see. Let me read this again. Ran out of superfill, so I tried lightweight spackling on stabbed fillets. Big mistake. DC 540 pulled them up. How would I fix? I would take a straight edge razor blade, because they'll come up real easy. I would take a single edge razor blade, like this, cut right straight down on the fillet and right straight over on the stab and dig all that stuff out. Now, if you have to use lightweight spackle, and forget the DC 540 unless you got the old stuff, because the new stuff is total crap. How you use that lightweight spackle is you do a fine fillet, very light fillet with that lightweight stuff, and then take thin CA and put it on your hand and wipe it on there and sand that. You do that several times. You have to seal it with CA or else the thinners will attack it. But I suggest don't do it. I would get you some superfill, because no matter what you do, it's always a problem. Or you could cut all that stuff out and lay a stick of balsa wood in there, a triangle piece of balsa wood, and then sand the fillet in with, the balsa wood into a fillet. I've done balsa fillets. If you're going to use that lightweight spackle shit, you got to use CA, thin set CA over the top of it. And like I say, that DC 540 that we got today, the new stuff, is crap. And the next tip on fillets is don't paint them. If you watch me paint the orange on these fillets here, it was with an airbrush ever so slight. It was a lot of light little coats until it was covered. If you lay a thick coat of paint on there, you're going to have a problem. It's either going to pull up or, in your case, soften the material up. It would be pretty hard for that, dope to attack superfill, because it's more like Bondo, airplane Bondo. It must have a lot of microballoons in it, which are fiberglass beads. No, that's the worst thing you can do. Don't spackle them and don't paint them. And don't use Acryl green on them. That green spackling compound I use, that's Acryl green, that's only for the prop I was looking for. It's only for spot places on a flat surface. And I mean spot, like the head of a pin. I've seen guys take that green shit on their finger and go in and use it as a fillet. It'll do the same thing that the spackle did. It'll just, because Acryl green is lacquer and you're hitting lacquer over the top of it, it'll just soften up and bubble right up. It's terrible. Yep. Okay. Well, thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll try to come on a little earlier. I don't think we're flying tomorrow. I got to go to the store. And I already took care of the car, the oil change, and the wash today. And I drove it around 50 miles so that the computer clears so I can get my emissions checked on Monday. Should be all right. So fair winds, tight lines. We'll see you.